Hey guys, Cole here, and in this video I figured we'd walk through one of the newer platforms that my team and I have come across, and really just have a chance to play around with it together. So that way you've got an idea, I've got an idea, and so what I've been told so far about this tool, about Ottokit, again, it does build automations without code and all these really cool pieces, but more importantly, it seems to be like a hybrid between something like N8N and Make. Now, Make has been building out a lot of their feature sets and has been doing some things that are just really freaking cool. But again, the issue between Make versus something like N8N, where it's you can host, well, N8N is free. Make can be expensive because you're paying on operation costs. And this one, Ottokit, as of right now at least, they've got a lifetime deal. Of course, there's probably some limitations. I don't know what the exact limitations could be just yet, but there are a lot of opportunities here. So might be something worth looking at and trying it out. But in here, let's jump in. I've got an account in here so we can play around with it. When you first come in here, we've got a dashboard. It's giving you an overview. There's a bunch of existing automations and recipes that you can start with, much as like what you'd sort of see on a lot of these platforms now. You also have recipes, which is essentially the ready-to-go automations. And in here, they've got a lot of really cool functionality that seems to have been natively into their system, which would be something along the lines of agent. I believe this is the one that I thought was pretty cool. Let's see if it comes through. Agent, like a daily planner agent. Let's do it yourself so I can just show you. And what I mean by that I find pretty cool, is that, when you start the automation and something tries to schedule, right? You're talking to this, you're able to do agent flows. And what I mean by that is that you have you have the central input, but you're able to have an agent that can then talk to multiple outputs. So currently within something like Make, we do have agents that you can come in here and create an agent with. Create a connection. Let's see here. Oh, of course, I don't have it on this one. But I wanted to grab this really quick. But you have the ability to use agents, but it's not exactly in this same structure where you can go and do variety of actions. It's still pretty linear flows. It might change by the time this video goes out, but you're able to do true nesting, right? You're able to nest multiple actions from an agent and give it its own autonomy to do something. And then once it identifies what that output is then able to move on to the rest of the automation, which I find pretty cool. So you're able to sort of like mix linear and non-linear automations into a system. So what kind of power does that really give you? Well, I'm still starting to play around with it a little bit, but an example of that could be using something like Ottokit to go and build the following. So let's say when someone, you have your email account and someone sends you an email in your existing chain and they're like, hey, wanted to see if you're free this Friday, right? Here's email received. And I tell the agent, your job is to really just look, is this a meeting request? If yes, great. If not, here's this context, right? So we've gone through and given it in its basic context. It basically goes and understands that, hey, I'm here to help schedule meetings if someone looking to do that with you. And then I'm going to look at your events. Do I have anything at that day, at that time? Am I free? If yes, I'm going to go and draft a reply using that language. Yeah, I'm free at this time. Maybe we can do that. If not, I'm going to create a drafted response that says, no, unfortunately, I'm not available, but I am free at this time, right, instead. And then if they reply back and they agree, then you can go through and use this because it will register that, hey, I'm going to go ahead and put that event together, which is super cool because what you'd have to do in something like Make as an alternative, right, if you're thinking of this linearly, you would go, okay, Gmail comes in, watch a Gmail, make sure the criteria is good, you create a chat completion. This AI agent then needs to then parse if this is a email right? And a proper email, because you got to do maybe only unread emails. We got a simple, yeah, we're going to use simple filter. And then maybe we need to go in here and do other like forcive categorization, right? We're just going to hit save. Let's just say that's good enough. We then need to tell it, hey, are they actually wanting to schedule with you? Yes. Great. Then we're going to draft another email, right? Then we're going to draft an email back. Actually, wouldn't draft an email. Then you need to go and get events. And I can't do it in here. Right? You have to get your calendar. You got to do a bunch of like these random extra steps, right? It becomes like a bunch of steps just to do one simple thing. Whereas in here, the agent goes, oh, okay, I see that you're free. Let me just put it together for you, and I'll draft you a reply. So I'd say it's pretty cool. It's pretty nice. You could do the same thing. I will say you can do the same thing within N8N. However, it can be a little bit more complex with their platform, just given the nature of the tool. Again, N8N is a massive, massive platform that gives you a ton of functionality. So I think that there's a benefit of being somewhere in between here. Additionally, does have a lot of tools that you can connect with. And give you a lot of abilities. I've not taken the time to go through and build a bunch of automations with this, but what I figured I would do is just really briefly show you guys the tool itself, what it looks like. You have a lot of capabilities. You can have it, you can talk with it and create with AI, or you can go through and come in and create something from scratch. So just do tester, right? And that's quite simple. We've got a bunch of different options. Use your webhooks like what we've done in other videos, right? Have it create a webhook. You know, once we get that webhook, maybe we want to then do an example, right? We're going to call Claude, and then I don't have enough connections in here, right? But then we're going to call OpenAI, right? Continue. Here's what you're doing. Here's the response. Here's how many tokens, right? So on and so forth. Overall, I think it's a pretty good little tool. I think it gives you guys a lot of capabilities. I think it's totally worth looking at and playing around with more. What I'd be curious about is what your guys' thoughts are on if trying a different system outside of Make is going to be beneficial to you. And I can start putting together some automations and what it would look like, and then just give you guys access to those automations since I can export the workflows. One thing I didn't try yet, and we're going to go to here, is test, is what happens, can I import my workflow? I didn't try that yet. I would love to be able to import a workflow. How do I don't want to export, I just want to import. We're going to bug them and maybe we'll see how that works, right? So again, it's a new platform. I think it's got a lot of potential. The price are really reasonable in terms of what it is, how it does things. I highly recommend you guys taking a look at it. I'll put a link on it down in the comments below. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys later on. Thanks.